Welcome to Old Legends, where history comes alive, where myths, legends, and the greatest stories ever told are given voice once again. Today we journey deep into the sands of Egypt, into one of humanity's greatest achievements, the pyramids. These structures are more than stone and mortar, they are eternal testaments of human vision, faith, and ambition. To understand the pyramids, we must begin with Egypt itself, a land where the Nile carved a lifeline through the desert, feeding a civilization unlike any other. For thousands of years, Egypt was the jewel of the ancient world, its people sustained by the river, its culture bound together by a belief in gods, kings, and an afterlife that stretched beyond imagination. Pharaohs were not mere rulers, they were gods in human form. To the Egyptians, death was not the end, but the beginning of eternity. And so, to honor their kings, to prepare them for the afterlife, they built monuments that touched the heavens. But pyramids were not built in a day. Their story begins with experimentation with smaller tombs known as mastabas, rectangular structures of stone or mud brick. Then came a man who would change history, Pharaoh Djoser. Under his rule, his architect Imhotep conceived something no one had ever seen before, a pyramid that rose step by step toward the sky. The step pyramid of Saqqara was born, the very first of its kind, standing as a symbol of divine power and architectural genius. It was the spark that ignited an era of pyramid building, a race to create structures that could touch eternity. From that moment, Egyptian rulers dreamed bigger. Each pharaoh wanted his resting place to surpass the last. And so, around 2600 BCE, during Egypt's Old Kingdom, one man commissioned the greatest project of them all, Pharaoh Khufu. His vision was staggering. He ordered the construction of the Great Pyramid at Giza, a structure so vast, so precise, that even today it baffles engineers and historians. Over 2 million limestone blocks, some weighing more than 70 tons, were dragged across the desert and stacked with astonishing accuracy. The Great Pyramid stood 481 feet tall, making it the tallest man-made structure on Earth for over 3,800 years. But how was it built? Theories abound. Some say massive ramps of mud brick and limestone stretched for miles. Others believe counterweights and pulleys were used, or that workers carved zigzagging pathways to move stones higher and higher. What we do know is that it was not slaves, but tens of thousands of skilled laborers, artisans, and farmers who came during the flood season when the Nile covered their fields. They worked in shifts, housed in nearby villages, fed with bread, beer, and meat. They were not building only for Khufu, they were building for the gods, for eternity, for the promise of life after death. The pyramid was not merely a tomb, it was a machine for immortality. Inside, chambers and passageways were designed to guide the pharaoh's soul to the heavens. The walls once gleamed white with polished limestone casing stones, reflecting the sun so brightly that the pyramid shone like a star in the desert. It was a spiritual beacon, linking earth to the divine. But not all mysteries are solved. The Great Pyramid contains hidden chambers that remain unexplored even today. Tiny shafts leading nowhere, passages sealed for millennia, and secrets locked deep within its heart still puzzle archaeologists. Some believe the pyramids align with the stars of Orion's belt, a celestial map guiding pharaohs to eternity. Others suggest they hold hidden texts, knowledge lost to time. The truth may never fully be known, and perhaps that is the pyramid's greatest power, its eternal mystery. Over centuries, new pharaohs built their own pyramids. Khafre, whose pyramid still keeps the watchful eye of the Great Sphinx, and Menkaure, whose smaller yet elegant structure completed the Giza Plateau. Yet none could surpass the majesty of Khufu's. The Pyramid Age eventually waned as Egypt's power shifted, and new forms of tombs were built in the Valley of the Kings. But the legacy of the pyramids was already secured. These monuments were not just tombs, they were symbols. They declared to the world that Egypt was eternal, that its kings would live forever, and that human beings, through faith and determination, could touch the heavens. They remain standing after more than 4,500 years, weathering storms, earthquakes, invasions, and time itself. No empire lasts forever, no king rules eternally, but the pyramids endure, their message is timeless. They tell us that greatness is built not in days but in generations, that what we leave behind defines us more than what we take with us. When you stand before the Great Pyramid today, you are not looking at ruins, you are looking at immortality carved in stone. For thousands of years, the sands of Egypt have shifted, empires have risen and fallen, but the pyramids remain, silent, unyielding, eternal. This is the story of the pyramids. the eternal guardians of the desert, the eternal guardians of human memory. If you found yourself awed by their history, imagine what other mysteries history still hides. Stay with us on Old Legends, because the past is never truly gone. It waits in silence for us to uncover.